Hello, Japan. Hi, I'm Suze Romero, and I'm the president and founder of the George A. Romero Foundation. And I'm super excited that you're about to see the amusement park. So let me tell you a little bit about it. It was made in 1973 in Pittsburgh. The director was George Romero. He had $37,000, and he had one sheet, a script. And it was produced by the Senior Life Program, and it was meant to educate the community. It would go to community halls, churches, little auditoriums, to educate people about our elderly and provide support systems for them. These were all a precursor to Meals on Wheels, all the programs that do exist today. And so the film was shot and they received the film. And though George Romero was, of course, a Pittsburgh director, he had a special way of shooting and a special way of telling a story. And so I think they got something that they weren't quite sure was really what they were looking for. But regardless, it was made, and then of course it was shelved because it was never meant to be distributed as a film. And so the next time I hear about this film was in 2017 when a good friend brought us the 16 millimeter film and a DVD. And I went, oh my goodness, thank you, but what is this? And then I showed it to George and he went, yes. And I okay, so I slapped in the DVD and we saw this extraordinary 51 minutes. And after it was done, I said, well, George, how come you never mentioned it ever in any of your interviews? It was nothing, 3 days, bing, bang, boom. It was never meant to be, distributed in a large sense. So it was nothing to him. And of course, after he passed, I ruminated about what I was going to do, and the decision was made to have a foundation to create a support system for the community. And this would be our first project. And so we shopped and we found Indie Collect in New York, lovely and obviously expert. And so they took the film frame by frame and restored it. And of course the film itself was in horrible shape. It was warped, it was pink, it was faded, it was ripped. So I did try to find another copy, and I hoped that the Lutheran senior program would have it in their archives, but they didn't. So this is what makes me feel that they just didn't think it was something that they would use on a regular basis to communicate what they wanted to communicate. And so, okay, so then we get it restored, and there seemed to be such an excitement to see this film, and I was doing all this press and about the film, and as I was, well, first of all, I've seen it many times, and through the process I realized that it may in fact be the most Romero of all the Romero films. And it's his editing style, actually, the way it's cut, the way he makes you feel when you're watching this film. And this film is an ugly film. It's a sad film. It's a film that makes you uncomfortable. And it really is an important American film by an American filmmaker. And it's really interesting that George Romero, in fact, shoots it, but it's also important that the subject matter continues to be discussed, because we need to have these conversations. We need to speak to our parents, our grandparents, and as youth, we need to understand what happens to us and how society looks upon us. And it's such an interesting film where it starts in a white room with a hopeful man and a broken man, and then he goes into the amusement park and comes back broken, and then again hopeful, goes to the amusement park broken, and it's a loop. And we are all going to go to the amusement park, and this is the reason why it's such an important film, because we need to have these conversations. So I would say enjoy this film, but you won't. You will feel uncomfortable, and that's okay, because some films are meant to be felt and not, enjoyed. So with that said, stay scared and do the best you can, and have that conversation with your folks and with your grandparents. It's a very important thing to do. So enjoy Romero, and hope to see you soon in Japan.